Hello and welcome to the Go Ham Hour, episode 8.
Episode 8.
I'm James.
I'm still Sam.
I think we forgot to introduce ourselves last week, but
We did.
I feel like,
People know us.
and if they don't, they probably don't care.
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Unless they're like, oh man, he didn't say if he was still Sam or not. I don't know if he's still Sam. What if he's someone else? But rest assured that I was Sam last episode. I'm Sam this episode.
What if we switch it one time and then don't say anything about it and people get confused?
Switch it isn't like...
Like, I just say I'm James, or I say I'm still Sam, and you say you're James. We'll obviously switch the order.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if people catch on.
Masterplan!
You
I've pulled
didn't just hear that,
a
actually?
prank or two in my day.
Really, have you? Did you pull the seat out from someone as they were sitting down?
I've done that before too.
Yeah, me too. That's like the best prank I pulled.
It's pretty funny, but not in a setting where it's like a classroom or something, because
that's where
everyone
I
looks
did
at
it?
you and like, no, it's good, but like immediately after you regret it because everyone looks at you and it goes immediately from being funny to like, oh, I'm a dick.
Everyone laughed at mine.
Oh,
Although I was doing it to a very good friend. So,
that's different. See, I did it. And I didn't, I did it kind of on accident, if I remember correctly. It was in elementary school. It was, in a music class. And I, just pulled it out a little bit. As in, haha, wouldn't it be funny if I did this? And he sat down and he actually, kind of slipped on it. And it flipped out the rest of the way from under him. And I was like, oh, no! And everyone got really mad. Well, not everyone. He got mad. And, the teacher was like, about it. So,
yes.
the school was entirely... Well, my school was entirely taught by birds of prey. So.
That makes sense.
So why I have such a tough exterior and why I'm afraid of birds.
Oh yeah, I'm afraid.
That's not even a joke. I'm actually legitimately afraid of birds.
Really? Like titmice?
No.
Okay.
Not tiny birds.
Songbirds?
Like
big old birds?
Like
ostriches?
Like ducks.
Geese? Oh, duck. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm afraid of geese, but
duck
yeah.
size or ducks and up, geese. Fuck geese, dude.
Oh yeah, I don't like geese.
And ducks, they creep me out.
Oh yeah.
And seagulls and that,
I don't like seagulls. Seagulls are dirty. I hate it when people feed seagulls.
It's not that they're dirty to me. It's just that they're
trying to kill you.
Yes,
they are. They're trying to kill you.
I feel like I don't trust them. I don't trust birds. I see them with their hard, soulless, emotionless beaks, and I'm like, you can't read that.
You should never go into business with a bird. Then business is built on trust.
It's true, and I don't trust birds.
So don't go into business with a bird.
So last week I ended by saying I was going to talk about laughing into a mailbox.
Into a mailbox. Which means if you laughed so hard that he turned into a mailbox,
it does not. All right.
Okay, fair enough.
So in the residence hall, we have these tiny little mailboxes downstairs. They're so cute. They're these little rectangles. Well, they're squares at the front, but they go through. Okay, it's important to know that they go through. There's a little combination door. You open it up, you get your mail, but it goes straight through to the other side. There's no door on the other side. Which makes sense, that every room back there has probably just got a wall full of holes, and that's fine. But I didn't know when I got my combination the first time and I went to open it, I didn't really think about it, and I didn't really realize that it went straight through. And when I opened the mailbox, I was so incredibly amused with just the simple novelty of having this tiny little mail slot that I leaned down and I let out one guffaw, one laugh. I went, ha! And then I closed it. And then I closed it. And as soon as I closed it, I realized that it went right through. So I just leaned down and sent a single laugh through this hole to whoever happened to be working on the other side. So someone's probably just doing whatever they're doing with their mail. And then someone just goes, hey! Whoa! And then it's over.
I bet they get that a lot, actually.
I should probably not though, because I don't know anyone who's so amused with just the novelty of a tiny mailbox.
Oh dear.
I turned around and I was just I can just sent a laugh at someone. It's not even. I can't say that I laughed at someone. I just like put one laugh through the mail slot.
Send a laugh their way. You mailed them a laugh.
But who knows? Maybe they were having a bad day and they needed that in their day to make them feel a bit better.
Maybe they were having a great day and I thought, why did someone laugh at me once?
And maybe they quit and didn't ever come back.
So yeah, one of two things. Either was either good or really bad. So there you go, James.
It's alright. There's not there's always like there's outlets out here to make you happier when you're having a bad day. For instance, we've got those therapy dogs.
Therapy, yeah, exactly. I've seen them several times. I've never therapized with them, but I like a good dog.
Here at Kent, sometimes, and like one time they had them in the top floor of my residence hall, and then this week during finals week this last week during finals week they had in the library, and you just go in and they're just therapy dogs. Like you just pet them and they have a good time and you have a good time. And that's nice. And I feel like those dogs, they're living the life, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they sit there, and they're just, oh, yes. Oh, touch me. Like, there's this one Doberman that they always bring. He's just got, like, this brown Doberman. He's, like, just so chill. He finds his spot and lays down and just lets hands go all over him. He's just like, oh, this is the best. So, like, that's probably my dream job.
Yeah, that'd be good. Hands all over me.
I was about to say being a Doberman, but just you can get that in other jobs, Sam. You don't have to be a therapy dog for that.
I don't want. If you're thinking about the job that I'm thinking about, you're thinking out. I don't want that job. I don't want that job.
No? You wouldn't want to be a professional model?
I actually wouldn't want to be a professional model.
No? Why not?
I feel like it would. I don't know. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the worst. It'd be fine. I could probably. I mean, if I looked right, I could probably be a model.
I'm just saying, like, in this context, like, you are a professional model.
Okay.
Like, period.
Okay.
I like how in that situation, you're like, I guess it'd be fine. Whatever. Like, you know how much money they make?
Probably big money.
Like, at least $6.
Well, duh. That's less than minimum wage. I would hope.
I don't mean an hour. Like, they've gotten at least more than $6 at one time before.
Oh.
Which is like 6 McDoubles. No, it isn't, since they're $1.25 now.
Damn it.
It's like 5.5 McDoubles.
Anyone who knows me knows that I get a lot of McDoubles. Hence my weight, which is
massive, dude.
Yeah, I'm massive, meaning that I have a mass.
In the literal sense, yes, you are correct. Is that the honors college coming in there?
No.
Honors college knowledge there?
The honors college knowledge would be different. It would have to do with Shakespeare. That would probably make me sound like an insufferable douchebag.
But what if you are suffering?
It's not what insufferable means, though.
Is it not?
No.
Please educate me. I'm really ignorant.
Okay, well, I can only educate you through the use of example.
Go on.
Okay. Someone is sucking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In like the sense that person sucks.
Uh-huh.
They're insufferable. Cannot be born, James.
So
such
they're
behavior
just really bad at stuff?
I don't know. I'll put it this way.
I want to hear the Sam Dictionary version. The Oxford Sam Dictionary.
Okay, the Oxford Sam Dictionary definition of insufferable is an example. I think a lot of teen poets come across as quote-unquote insufferable, pathetic people. Because they're so melodramatic, it comes across as something that I would not suffer to. I'm pretty tired, James.
You had it, and then it just left.
It's like, I mean, so many of the things that I know I could only describe through example, and only because I use them a lot.
No, I feel you. Because there's a lot of times you ever get those or thoughts or moments where you try to explain something,
and you know exactly what
you know exactly it's in your head, and you know exactly what it is, and then someone else just looks at you like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm. Or if like you got the exact feeling. You know exactly when you're feeling that, but you can't describe it.
Yeah.
Like I know exactly.
So you don't bother with it even.
I know exactly when I feel like someone's being insufferable, but I can't tell you unless it were to happen.
Sorry, I didn't respond because I was thinking about
Butts.
gills.
Me too.
I was thinking about
Butt
if people
gills.
had gills, and for some reason my mind told me that would help you in the process of eating Skittles.
Are you
And I was
asleep,
really
James?
trying to figure out my own logic to that.
It wouldn't. Me too.
Do you need to eat Skittles underwater? I don't.
No, nobody needs to eat Skittles underwater. Did you fall asleep for a second? Because that's the kind of thing that happens when you dream. Like you think.
I didn't know. My
Or
mind
you
was
know.
just like, hey, gills, wait, Skittles? And I was like,
They
all
sound
right.
similar. Gills. Skittles both have an I and a double consonant sound and then an S.
They do. That might be it. Skills. Gills, Skittles, skills. Dude. Someone that, a creature that has gills and eats Skittles.
Wouldn't occur naturally.
It has skills. How's that to wake you up there, bud?
I'm still sleepy.
Yeah? Do you want a cup of tea?
Nah.
I've got this caffeine tea.
I'm really bad at drinking hot beverages.
This caffeine tea will kick your ass, dude.
I don't really need my ass kicked.
Do you want a juice box?
No thanks.
You sure?
One time at a graduation party over the summer, you know those Capri Sun juice bags, right?
Oh, I'm very familiar.
Okay, so I thought it would be a good idea to drink 3 in a row.
Yeah?
It was not a good idea. So everyone who's thinking that, don't do it.
Why?
It's hilarious, but it will make your stomach hurt so bad.
Really?
Yeah. They're
How
so
fast
sweet.
How fast did you drink them?
Like
just boom, boom, boom?
Yes.
God.
It was an art piece. I was being
An art piece.
artistic.
Well,
Meaning I thought it would be funny, and it was funny. I enjoyed it.
I'm
I
sure
didn't
I'm
enjoy
sure
the
you definitely
taste. I thought
enjoyed yourself in the moment.
it tasted like
Capri Sun?
sugary piss.
Whoa.
Actually, no, it just tasted like sugar
Oh yeah,
water.
no,
really.
I never really got into that new flavor there, sugary piss.
Yeah.
But you know what? They have a niche market, so
Yep. Gross. I don't want to talk about that.
you know, they sell. Capri Sun, they sell you.
We have not said that in a long time.
It's true.
I
like
miss it.
2 weeks. Of course, I say it a lot, like just by myself.
That's good.
Like I just kind of mumble it to myself.
Oh.
Someone will be like talking up a company. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's podcast number 2, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
You know, talking about sponsors. You know, as you can imagine, we have so many sponsors. That's why we're rolling in all of the money,
They're practically pouring money down our
pouring the money,
throats,
pouring them,
down our wallets.
pouring our money right down our wallets. So we just there's so many sponsors we can't even fit them all in. So we just
Name none of them.
just endorse products. Buy products. Products.
Sell you.
They sell you.
So James,
Yes.
tell me.
Yep.
Like, does he have a car? I was in a production of Grease senior year.
Hold on, did you just segue to me so you can use your own segue?
I don't know. I just said James and I thought, oh shit, what do I say now?
Alright, just go on.
I was in a production of Grease. I played second guitar for the pit orchestra. Have you ever been in a musical production?
I have. I was in a production of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory at my high school.
What did you do?
I was Mr. Bucket, which is Charlie's dad. People confuse it with Charlie's grandpa, though, because Charlie's grandpa is the one who goes with him. I was Mr. Bucket, and every single time I ever heard somebody say think positive after that, I wanted to die a little bit. Because
Wow.
because Mr. Bucket sings that song, and I just, like, I practiced it so many times, and, like, it's amazing how, like, one song that literally the entire purpose is to say, to think positive, can make you feel so negative.
See, in a similar way, it's amazing how songs that are like angry can make you feel so pumped.
Yeah, well, pumped I mean, that kind of makes sense because it's like there's a lot of energy in your anger, and you're like, yeah, or in their anger. But sometimes like songs that are really sad are like soothing, though.
I guess so, yeah.
I mean,
for me, I guess you're right. Like there's a song by a Counting Crows song that I listen to a lot when it's late. It's called "When I Dream of Michelangelo." It's good.
What's it about?
You know, it's a sad song. I don't know. Like it's.
There's a song that's not originally by Yo La Tengo, but they did a rendition of it. It's called "Needle of Death," and I don't listen to songs for the words, honestly. I grew up listening to stuff like Beck, which if you're familiar with Beck, you know that he just kind of throws words together. I'm sure they have some meaning, but for the most part, it just seems like utter nonsense. So I just tend not to listen to the words. I just listen to the music.
Mm-hmm.
But this song "Needle of Death," it's like really sad. If I'm interpreting the lyrics correctly, it's about someone dying of an overdose and their family dealing with the loss. So but it's like such a nice tranquil song. You're just like, yeah, like it just sets you at ease.
I'm very lyrical, like lyric driven in the music that I listen to. Lyrics are very important to me.
I get that. I just can't think that way. See, I'm the same with like poetry. Like I can't really get into it because I can appreciate it as an art form. I just can't really interpret it that well.
I think most serious poetry is annoying.
Annoying how?
It's melodramatic, really. It's just too much. Like I mean,
I don't think anyone's gonna write like. Poetry wouldn't be the same if every poem was like someone just talking about what they did during the day.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can't. I'm not saying poetry should change itself. I'm just saying, whatever. I mean, I'm fine with very serious song lyrics, but I feel like they're more impactful that way, with a melody and a rhythm.
Yeah, dude, you should listen to slam poetry.
What's slam poetry?
It's just like poetry readings, but they're like really expressive and like really like it slams you with poetry. It's like really emotional. I can't really think of a way to describe it very well. I'm probably butchering the description of it actually. So if any of you want to correct me on that, don't, because I'm always right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, sounds like something I'd actually probably make fun of.
It's not bad actually. I've seen some pieces that are actually really good. Like sometimes, as someone who doesn't really listen to songs for the lyrics, sometimes like I'll just catch a piece of something and I'm like, whoa, that's really good. Like I love like double meanings in that. There's like this Cold War Kids song. I don't freaking remember what song it is. But I don't know, something along the lines of like, when I was the fire, you were wood, so when I was petrified, you understood. Like it was just like such a good dual meaning of like wood being petrified and like the person also being scared. Like I was just like, whoa! I was mowing the lawn and I heard that. I was like, wow, whoa, damn, that is
that's me.
It's a text message. It's always a text message, but I always think it's a phone call.
I only have 1 minute left on my phone.
Oh god, you just turn that shit off, dude.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna be able to answer that text.
Can you even open it?
I can. I can't answer it though.
You can answer it on my phone if you need to.
That's alright. I'll probably not gonna be able to need to answer it.
But
it's what I think it is.
There's another song by Ugly Casanova. I'll recommend that band to you. It's Isaac Brock of Modest Mouse. It's his personal project, sort of. If you've listened to any old Modest Mouse, like the Everywhere in His Bed or Everywhere in His Nasty Parlor Trip, Everywhere in His Nasty Parlor Tricks. It's such a good album, and it like takes you right back to that, like an album that you could just kind of listen to over and over again. It's really good, and like the first song, Barnacles, I love like the first lines. It's so simple though. It says, "I don't know me, and you don't know you, so we fit so good together because I know you like I know myself." It's really it's like so simple, but it's like wow, that's actually And it just like talks about like growing together.
Some of the most powerful lyricism I have heard. Actually, one of the most powerful songwriters is Rob Lynch. He has this EP called, well, it's Rob Lynch's EP. Every time I listen to it,
Rob Lynch, this mine.
It stirs me. It's so beautiful, and that's.
How would you define the feeling you get when you say stirred? Like you felt that there was a spoon dipped inside of you?
No, it's much more beautiful than that. Like
someone was spooning you?
No.
More?
Like I might cry.
Oh, Jesus. Are you serious right now?
Yeah. He is.
I've never had that with a
Never
song.
had that with a song?
Nope.
I think there are a couple songs that...
I don't get that with like movies or anything either, though. So
I get that sometimes.
See, I don't have emotions.
There was one time when I wrote a song, and I played it. Like, I wrote it, and I was like, a lot of times when I write a new song, I'll play it for my mom. Like, she's usually the first person to hear a new song, because she's always around.
That is really lame.
Well, I need to demo it to somebody who is at the house when I finish. You're never at my house, James.
Knock on the wall.
Anyway.
Knock on the wall.
I played it
and I'll just be
for
like,
her, and she
hi, yo, Sam.
walked, and like as soon as she walked out, I burst into tears. It was that song that I wrote. It was a powerful song. All of that being said, I don't know if it would have that kind of effect on anybody else because it's something that was really
Sam,
personal
can
to
you
me.
please stop talking about that for a second? Because I think my chest hairs are falling off.
Okay.
Just from hearing that.
Okay. It doesn't really help that I just hit him on the shoulder.
Yeah, you just like knocked a tuft of hair out, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so he implied that he was turning into less of a man because I.
Oh no! Well.
Oh really?
I mean, less of a man. No, it's just I was just making fun of you.
Oh, he was making fun of me. Not
I
surprised.
mean, I do not by any means consider myself a very masculine man.
I don't consider you a very masculine man either.
That's all right. In fact, a lot of people when they meet me assume that I'm gay.
Huh.
Which and people like will tell me like, "Oh, I always thought you were gay." And I'm like, eh. And I'm like, I don't really care if you think that though.
I have no idea what anybody thinks about me in that sense because I've never ever had a girlfriend. I've never had any kind of romantic encounter like that, but I don't know. So I feel like I wonder if people think I'm gay, but then I'm like, whatever. Let them think what they think.
People just think of you like as a purely asexual being.
Yeah.
That's Sam. I don't think he has sex, but if he does, I don't really want to think about it.
Well, there's nothing to think about because I don't.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. It's actually the driving force of most of my songs.
Are you really?
Well, not all of them, but a lot of them are about girls.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really sweet, Sam.
It's not.
Oh, I stand corrected.
I mean, it's not sweet and like the isn't that cute? It's sweet isn't like that was actually pretty cool. Like because I will not lie. I am pretty proud of myself as a songwriter.
Yeah, I mean, every time I have some like musical inspiration, which is very rare, and I want to write songs, I just suck at it. The same thing with like if I ever like in school, whenever you had to like write poems and shit, I was always terrible at it. I can write haikus.
And yeah, I used to try to when I went back in middle school. I was preoccupied with being dramatic and cool in my poetry, and then in high school I just realized like, wait, that's dumb. If I write poetry, the goal of my poetry is to be amusing and fun, and funny, and the goal of my songs is to be cool, like good. Like not saying I never write a song like this. Like just like whoop de doo. I have some songs like that, and I like songs like that. But
they should have an emotional source.
Yeah.
Although I do like just tell a story maybe with them.
Yeah, I do believe that it is important to occasionally write a song that is just nonsense because it I don't know about anyone else, but I've got a lot of story, not like just like winds blowing in many directions in my head.
Interesting way of putting it.
Yeah, and I just it helps to filter out some of that nonsense just to get some.
You remember a few weeks ago when it was really, really windy?
Yes.
I was walking to my advising appointment, and like it was the winds were like 40 miles per hour or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Maybe not that much, but they were really, really strong winds here in Kent.
I was getting flustered.
Yeah, we were both getting blustered around because we're both not
Really small.
We're not large.
Yeah, we're
tall, but we're like
we're tall, skinny guys. So
Yeah.
ladies, if you like that sort of thing, James is taken.
it's true.
I'm not though.
That's also true.
But get to know me first.
Buy him dinner. Anyways, I was walking to my advising appointment, and like I was walking between two buildings, and this gust of wind picked up, and it like picked up. I'd like probably every single fallen leaf in the area, and just like swept it into the air. The air was literally filled with leaves, just like swarming around, and I felt like a god. It was
awesome.
Amazing. I was just walking through this building, and between these two buildings, it was just like, and like the air was. It wasn't even like in a stream or anything. Just leaves were like floating, and it was one of those surreal moments where you're like, I am a human being on a planet. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like you feel really just, you kind of forget about all these, oh god, I'm going to sound like such a hippie here, but like, you forget about all these like social constructs, and you forget about like, you know, I'm going to my advising appointment, or like, I have to work on this for class or anything. You just, like, in the most literal sense, you're like, I am a human being.
On a planet.
Yeah.
In space.
Yeah. It's so weird. That's why, like, sometimes if it's raining, but just raining, like, just kind of like a misty rain, I'll go for a walk without an umbrella just because, like, that constant, like, stimulus just kind of reminds you that, like, the world isn't really that affected by you as an individual, but that doesn't make it any less majestic.
Yeah. Like, one time it started raining, I looked up and I thought, wow, that water is falling a really, really long distance.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like, I was like, that.
I can't tell if we're being deep or just like discovering things that are actually pretty standard and stupid.
I think we're just chatting, really.
Yeah.
I think, you know, it doesn't really matter.
You know, taking a break from all the horsing and palling around that we usually do here on the Go Ham Hour, and
partly because it's late, I think.
Yeah, it's so late. It's almost 8 p.m.
Well, I mean, it's late, isn't it? It's later than we're usually, you know, goofing off.
That's true. That's true. Do you have to go immediately home after this, or?
Yeah, I probably will. I'm gonna probably go home and do a lot of eating, eat a lot of food. I probably celebrate that I'm done with the semester now.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, then I gotta start thinking about getting shows for the band over break.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not too much.
Make that money.
We're trying to set up a dual or triple show with this other group that we played in the Battle of the Bands with.
Hey, talk to Scotty and his band.
That's right. He's probably going back home for the break though.
But he lives in like Youngstown, I think.
Boardman, I think.
Oh, well, it's not far. Regardless.
Well, either way, I'm not just looking for shows for like the break. We're looking to play with other bands.
Exactly, like play with Scotty's band.
Yeah, I'll talk to him about that.
Scotty's got like 8 music projects too. Like,
yeah.
So definitely hit that kid up.
Yeah, there are a few bands, and he is one that I will add to the list.
Yeah. I'm not a band, but you know, if you wanna.
Yeah, are you still jamming with that one dude?
Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been recently because of school, but
right.
I should hit him up sometime soon.
Yeah.
Maybe try to get him before break, because he's like really the one that inspired me to really start getting into bass. You know, like before, like earlier, during finals week, I had just taken an architecture final, and I had finished, and I was gonna study for some other stuff, and then I picked up the bass. And usually when I play bass, I'm like just playing songs that I already know, and just playing riffs and that. But I just started like making up riffs. Like I found someone on Reddit had put up on the bass subreddit. They put up that they make drum loops on YouTube, and they just had links to like a bunch of different drum loops on there.
Yeah.
And so I just put one on, and I just started like playing, and was like, huh. Like the first time I started jamming out with Andrew, he like I just what did I have? I didn't even have a guitar or anything. He did. I just used his, and they just like covered some Beck songs, and he was just digging around on his computer for a bit trying to look up riffs that he had written on the guitar. He's a really good guitar player, by the way. And I just picked up his bass, his P bass, because I was just gonna new around on it, and he like started there. He played a riff on his computer, like that he had written and recorded. And I was like, where are the chords to that? And he gave me the chords, and I was just able to make bass lines. And he was like, I like that. That sounds really good. And I was like, yeah, I kind of like this too. So I want to start, like, over the break, I think I'm going to get really into trying to make myself into actually more of a bass player. And I'll try to think of, I should just get down kind of like all the notes to go to certain keys, probably.
Yeah, that's the most helpful thing. The thing that changed, like, the way I think about writing songs is taking a music theory class in high school. Changed the way I think about composing.
I just don't want to take a music
class.
class.
Don't bother taking a class. Yeah, but I don't know, taking the class helped me, but
I should make note cards of keys because I've got them all written down.
You know, there's like
chord sheet, like keys.
There's like a pattern for you can just apply the pattern at any level on the neck and play a scale.
That is true. I should learn some scales too.
Honestly, at this point, that's all. I don't even really think about that anymore.
I have become so ingrained with the music, I don't even think about it anymore. It just flows out of my fingertips.
Well, I mean, I'm not like any kind of genius guitarist or anything.
No, you're definitely not.
I'm definitely not.
No, I like your guitar playing. You're
you.
pretty good. No, I should just like make. I'm really good at memorizing stuff with flashcards.
You told me, yeah.
Yeah. So
actually, I think we talked about it on the last podcast. I'm sorry, 2 podcasts ago.
Did we?
Yeah. We were talking about the last day of normal school or whatever.
It's just people are always like, I gotta study. Oh yeah, because we were talking about studying with Scott.
Exactly.
And people were like, I'm studying. Like they just spend so many times on these papers, and I just like make myself some note cards, and I'm good to go, dude.
I just look at the notes once. Like I was trying to study for my math final today. I'm bad at studying. Like I there's no systematic way that I'd study. I was just flipping through my thing. I did a couple of the problems on MyLabs Plus. And it was just like I mean, I guess I did an okay job with studying because I'm pretty sure I did well on the exam. But I don't know. I hate studying. Yeah, I felt.
Well, I mean, nobody's like, yeah, studying.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I'm preaching to the choir here.
Yeah, well, maybe not a choir. There's like 2 listeners, if that. I don't know. I think so far this is a pretty good podcast.
Yeah,
I think it's better than usual. It's sorry, I just.
You may not have though. It may have just been like a straight desk burglar or something.
One time, at my old job, I was just I think I was arranging something on a plate or something at an Italian restaurant, and I don't remember what I did. I might have spoken or like I did something with my mouth. Probably just said something to myself.
Or maybe just did this. I just made a weird like kissing blowfish motion.
Yeah, he just kind of like. To illustrate it best, it would be like if he was making noise while he did it, it would go. Wah, wah, wah. There we go. That's probably a pretty good visual, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was looking down at the plate, right? Like my face was facing basically the ground.
Right.
And I opened my mouth to speak to myself or something. Spit came. I wasn't looking quite at the ground, I remember, because I was very surprised at this. That's right, I wasn't even looking at the ground. That's what surprised me so much. Sorry, I'm like, it's so much detail for such a minuscule story. No, I was just talking. I think I was about to turn the corner, and I open my mouth, stuff comes out, and then spit comes out of my mouth just a little bit. Somehow doesn't go forward and down or straight down. Goes out and into my own eye. It wasn't like a glob or anything. It was just startling. I was just like
how'd that?
I had to like spit into my own eye. Like, how does that happen? Wow. I stopped walking. I was like, did I just spit into my own eye? I was perplexed. It was definitely interesting.
So that was at your old job?
Yeah.
You had a lot of jobs? You've been a cowboy before? Me neither.
I worked. I was in an Italian restaurant. I worked out for about 6 months, and before
Right.
that, I worked in a very prestigious industry. You might have heard of it. It's called McDonald's.
Oh, McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to McDonald's before.
No. They sell some high quality stuff.
Oh, I don't know if we're talking about the same place then. Yeah, I have never had a job.
No.
Nope. I guess the closest thing I've had is that I have this sort of agreement with my neighbor. I walk his dog, and we like dogs a lot, and he pays me a little bit.
How much is a little bit?
Actually, it's a little more than a little bit. It's like $20 a week, so it's not bad, but it's not great.
Yeah.
It's not like anything to sustain
Scream
myself
about.
on. Yeah. So
It's
yeah,
like, woo! $20.
yeah. I've never really had a real job.
What do you mean a real job?
A job that I have. Any job besides walking my neighbor's dog or playing in a band.
Well, I mean, do you make all right income from playing with the band?
I make okay income,
Well, there you go.
but it's still
So,
not.
yeah.
It's still not job level.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you really need one, I mean, a lot of people. That was like the hardest part about working at McDonald's was, I mean, once you know all the stuff, it's just kind of a day-to-day thing. You can kind of just tune out and just do your stuff. And working in the kitchen was nice because like you didn't have to talk to anyone, you just do the stuff. But my least favorite part was the people that came in, the new hires that would come in, and a lot of them was like their first job. It was my first job. These like kids come in and then they're like honestly annoyed at the concept of actually having to work.
Mm-hmm.
They just like get so annoyed if you like push them to actually make any effort, and you're like, do you know what a job is? Or
I just thought I'd show up and get paid.
Yeah, people honestly think that they just like if they show up like that's good enough, and like no matter how bad of a job they do, but no, like people are idiots, dude. Especially people that work at McDonald's. Okay.
Especially.
No, I had some people that were like, that's not to dislike. Some people work at McDonald's and they're very cool. Like I made some friends there, but a lot of people stupid. A lot of them, and people that work at McDonald's. No, like they know like they each have that one person or a few people that they think of when I say that too. Is like when I think of like that asshole that nobody wants to work with. Yeah, he probably works on Grill.
His name is probably James. Did you work on Grill?
I worked on Grill a lot actually. That was
Oh,
my favorite because it was so easy. It was so like people were like, "Oh, Grill." I'm like, "Yes, Grill." Oh, so nice. We also had this woman. I felt bad for her. Her name was Penny. She was so like she was just old, and she had really shaky hands. And sometimes they would put her on the assembly table, which is like there's two parts of like the assembly table. The first one, the first one's called table, and the second one's called meats or cabinet. And the first part you just like toast the buns, and then you put on like all the condiments on it, and then you slide it down to the next person who does the meats. The meats is like the easiest part of those two. And Penny, they put her on the table, and she was just so slow. And I was working on Frontline, and like I had these moments with a few of the employees where I was friends with most of the managers, and I would just look at them and be like, listen, I don't care what excuse you have to make up, please switch us out, please. Just put me back there, because it would pain me to see someone else just like going at a snail's pace, and I'm like, just do this, like just come up here and do this. It's so much easier.
Yeah.
Ugh, maybe that's a flaw of mine that I like want to like. If I know that I could do something better than someone else, it'll bother me if they're doing it. But I don't know. It's just some things like that. Like I know that she knows how to do it. It's just that she's like physically incapable, and we were packed up.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's best for the job or with the establishment.
That's why I'm glad that I'm going to be working at the consignment shop back home,
right?
Because that's not food service, and I'm friends with the owner, and like we can talk all day long and not get bored. So it's really nice.
That's good.
maybe we'll do a podcast together.
That'd be interesting.
But yeah, it's gonna be really really fun, and I told her to go ahead and give me as many hours as she can.
Cool.
That's what my Christmas break is gonna consist of, is working, and like my dad and stepmom and stepsister are gonna be going down to Alabama to see my stepmom's family for Christmas, and it's gonna be like a week long thing. They asked me if I wanted to go, and I said no because I want to get as many hours as I can. So I get to take care of the house and the dogs, and they're gonna pay me for that as well.
Nice.
So that will be good.
Make that paper.
Make that paper. Plus, if I'm gonna be staying at their house, that's gonna be that much closer to the consignment shop.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm looking pretty good, and I'm gonna try next semester to buy as few books as I can. My friend Anne, she was in media power and culture class this semester, and I've taken next semester because I've changed over. I don't know if I've talked about my major on the podcast. We obviously know at this point that Sam is going to be majoring his college career in exploratory.
Yep.
He's going to be the first ever Kent State graduate with a degree in exploratory.
Yep.
Which can get you literally any job.
Any job.
Any job.
Yes. I'm going to apply for Donald Trump.
Yes. That's a pretty good job. It's pretty hard to get in though. I mean.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think I would really be happy in that job.
I think historically only one person has ever.
Only one person has ever been the Donald Trump. Okay, yeah. What's your major, James?
Well, I came in as an anthropology major.
Start off.
Came in as an anthropology major because it really interests me. That's something that really interests me is human culture. Just I talked about a bit about it last week, where just the fact that so many human customs are just like arbitrary and meaningless and redundant. That sort of stuff and like the origin of stuff like that really interests me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was sitting in class one day and I had just an epiphany. I was just like, you know what? This is interesting, but I really don't want to do this for a living. And I don't think we had started the podcast at the time. But it was probably one of my major influences for starting the podcast was actually like I just realized that I want to work in like radio or television. I want to
television.
Yeah.
Instant crush.
Shut up, Sam.
Sorry.
I want to use my voice.
For good.
Yeah.
I want to use mine for evil.
Well, we're gonna be arch enemies then.
Okay.
All right. We've just started a rivalry in the future. Anyways, so I talked to someone, and I thought I was gonna have to go into journalism with a focus on broadcasting. Then I was gonna switch to that, and I was like, I'm gonna talk to someone just to make sure that these are my only options because it looked like that was it. And she had told me about this major called digital media production, and there's two focuses: there's film and television. And television is the one I'm obviously more inclined towards. So I'm gonna be starting that next semester.
Cool.
And I'm really excited. So I'll be working with I'm gonna get in contact with the local or the student-run television station, and hopefully be working on that.
Good for you.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. What do you want to do, Sam?
You know what?
When you grow up.
When I grow up, honestly, I know there's a huge stigma around it, and I'm gonna say, and everyone's like, Sam is a not realistic person, but I want to stick with Blue Radio for a living.
Yeah.
Yep. There is nothing else that I would be happy doing.
It's well, there probably is, but
nope, I don't think so.
No, nothing at all. Nothing interests you else?
Very, very little interests me.
What about me?
I would not do you.
You want to do me for a living, Sam?
No, I don't.
I'll give you
nope,
all my spare change.
That's a lot.
I'll just throw it at you.
No, but I am willing to work very, very hard, and I'm going to start not being willing to work very hard, but actually working very, very hard.
It's definitely hard to make a living as a musician.
Oh yeah.
I wrote a paper on it a while back, actually.
Really?
Yeah, for my what was it? My Comp 2 class back in Rio. We had the whole semester, that was our whole focus was a project where we basically just had we had to answer a personal question, and a lot of people like revolved around like jobs, or like hobbies and that, and I didn't really have one in mind, and I went and talked with the professor because we all had to talk with her and figure out what we were going to talk about, and I had mentioned that I was playing guitar as a hobby at the time, and she had suggested like working as a musician. Like I have no like interest really in like, I mean, would it be cool? Yeah, to like make a living as a musician and just like play music for people for a living. That'd be cool, but it's never been something that's like I want to do that thing. So, but I answered the question in the report. Like I talked to some friends of mine. We had to like interview 3 different people and get sources. The paper had to be like 8 to 10 pages.
Right.
We had the whole semester to work on it, right? Pulled a classic me move and did it like 2 nights before.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think everybody pulls a classic you move every now and then.
Yeah.
I don't really do that much.
This one time, we in my intro to social science class, same school. I think that was my first year. We had a project due at the end of the semester that was like also 8 to 10 pages, and it was just we had to write a report on a culture that we chose out of like this list of cultures
right.
that she put on the syllabus. And the night before it was due came up, and I got off work, bought myself some Red Bull, and I was like, all right, not sleeping tonight. And I didn't. Like, I just wrote that paper. I did go to sleep. It was like 4 a.m. and I slept for like 3 hours and then got up and went to school.
Wow. I would never be able to do that.
You know what else is really funny about it?
What?
My friend Victoria, she had worked on the paper like all semester, like you're supposed to.
Right.
Like normal people do. I wrote it obviously the night before,
right.
/ the morning of. Got a better grade than her.
Wow.
She was pissed, man. So pissed. And I was just like,
Although to be fair, I'd say that getting more sleep is more valuable than a higher grade.
True, but I mean,
although that being said, I've never really had to worry about my grades.
Or your sleep.
Or my sleep.
Sleep. All this talk about sleep is making me horny.
Yep, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
You seem like you would be easy to arouse.
This is the sign for horny.
Really?
Yeah, you do it once and that's hungry. You do it 3 times, that's horny.
Huh. Is it have to be with the right hand?
And if you do it with both hands, it's a tie.
Oh. I learned today.
Yeah, you did.
You guys didn't, though, since you didn't see what James was doing. Oh my god,
so like, after taking the ASL Final, just this huge weight. So you know how you told me that one day that you came out of class,
yes,
and you just felt this feeling of like pure joy.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed learning ASL. Don't get me wrong, and I'm gonna continue to learn it on my own. But I'm so glad I never have to take one of those classes again, because we had to have a foreign language, as a requirement for anthropology, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And ASL counts as a foreign language. What counts, in the Kent core or in the Kent system as a foreign language, even though it's not. So I took that, and I'm glad I took it, but it was just so stressful, and I'm glad that I don't. It's hard to learn it.
I bet.
Because most languages, like French or Spanish, you can write down a word and be like, this means this in English on a piece of paper. Right. You can't do that in sign language. You just have to look at it and memorize it. And you just have to, or you can write down hand shapes or hopefully draw really fast, but that's not going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's just really difficult to retain all the information. Huh. But I think I did well in the final.
Well, that's good.
We had a bunch of different sections. Like, people ask a lot how she does the final. Because she's deaf. Like, she actually, she uses sign language as a primary language. And so the first part of the final was expressive, and we just had to go by ourselves to her and tell a story in sign, and she would record it. And basically that's just to record our non-manual expressions, which is like your facial expressions and that, which serve as a grammatical thing. I mean, you can say like, it's the difference basically to be like you like coffee, or like you like coffee. It's like, if depending on your face, you can be making a statement or asking a question. And then the second part is just receptive, which is she just stands in front and she would do finger spelling, where she just finger spelled words, but letter by letter, and then she would do addresses, so it was like a number and then letters, and then she did vocabulary, which we would just do a sign, and then we'd write down what the sign was, and she'd do sentences. She would assign an ASL, which is a different sentence structure than English as well. Mm-hmm. And we had to write it in English. And then she did a part where she asked questions in sign. We had to write the answer on the paper. And then we just wrote a bunch of stuff we had to learn about ASL, kind of like the 5 parameters of a sign language, or like hand shape and palm orientation and that. And I don't know. I'm just glad it's over because I was just so stressed. Plus, I had like some of that high caffeine tea, what I was talking earlier, while taking it. So like okay, so I have this nervous habit. Like if I have a drink and it is so like super easy access, like right in front of me, no matter if I'm thirsty or not, I'm gonna keep drinking it. I'm gonna open it and take a sip, and then open it and take a sip, and open it and take a sip. So I kept doing that with this tea, and I already had to go pee like twice. And then we were actually taking the final, and I kept sipping it, and I was like, I gotta stop, because like A, I really had to pee, and B, like I was just like bouncing in my chair, dude. That tea, it tells you on the box, like a regular cup of tea has like 50 milligrams of caffeine in it, right? And then a regular cup of coffee has like 100 milligrams of caffeine in it. A cup of that tea has 110 milligrams of caffeine in it.
Wow.
You drink it, and it's just like, whoa! Wow! I'm ready for the day!
Wow.
You remember that time we were walking downtown, and those Red Bull girls approached us? There are these Red Bull girls that go around campus sometimes, and if you're listening to this, Red Bull girls, I love you. Because they just have these backpacks that are shaped like cans of Red Bull, and they're just like, hey, do you want a Red Bull? Like, free. And they just hand them to you, and you're like, oh my god, this is the best. And then Sam and I were walking downtown, or on our way downtown, and these girls approached us. She was like, hey, you guys want some Red Bulls? And I was like, obviously, like, yes. And Sam was like, I don't really drink Red Bull. And I was like, yes, he wants one. Yes, he does. And Sam just completely did not pick up on the hint. He was like, I really don't want one. No, thank you. And I was like, yes, you do, Samuel. Yes.
I don't think it took that long. I think it was just like...
It really did. I kept really hinting at you. It was like, I was like, fuck this up, Sam. And then the girl was just like, you could always just take one and give it to him. Oh, I got a message. And give it to him. And I was like, yes, you can. And you were just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you did.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it with that, how many chances do you think that you've had to, like, make it with a girl that you just completely didn't pick up on?
Oh, several. Definitely several.
Like, your girl was, like, very into you, and she's just, like, playing with her hair and being all giggly, and she's like, oh, yeah?
No,
we should hang out sometime. And you were just like, oh,
that part.
I got a thing. Sorry.
That part has literally never happened to me.
Oh, well, do you have, like, a story of, like, where you were just oblivious, and then you get home later, and you're like, shit!
No, I have parts where I definitely knew what was happening, but I was not into the girl who was...
Oh, well, that's different.
Yeah, but I'm sure that thing has happened, but I've never really been like, oh.
Yeah, you've never registered it.
Yeah.
What if one day you're in the shower and it all, like, floods to you at once?
I doubt it will.
You just, like, collapse on the ground. Just like, oh!
I've had moments like that. Yeah, I think most of those moments either will go unregistered or just haven't happened. Honestly,
I feel like they probably have gone unregistered. I mean,
the symptoms that you described.
Well, okay, those are very, very obvious.
Yeah, okay, because those have never really happened.
But like, I feel like at least once there's got to be someone that they've talked to and they've been into you and they've like given hints and you've just not. Because like, A, you're definitely not bad looking. Like, you're an attractive dude.
Thank you.
B, you're funny.
Thank you. That helps.
That's why you're here. And C, you're in a band, dude. You sing and play guitar in a band.
Although I usually don't really talk about that unless people ask me about it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if somebody sees you play, like...
Yeah.
or if they're friends with you, like, or they're friends of a friend, and like, oh, they know, like, their friend is in Blue Radio, and it's like they know that you're in that too. So like, there's got to be people that are into you. You know what? I'm gonna start like putting like wanted ads
I think
up on the subreddit for you.
Part of it is the way that I work, and I don't really want to talk about that on the podcast because I don't like talking about my feelings.
Sam, you don't have feelings.
I have very powerful feelings, but I don't like to talk about them.
Oh, it's all right. We're all friends here.
Yeah, that's right. Me and James and you listeners are all friends.
You, me,
because we all probably
and
personally know each other.
Probably. This is less of a podcast and more of a phone call.
Yeah.
With the other people on mute.
Yeah.
Well, it's all right. Everyone has feelings, except me.
Except you.
Yeah.
You've made that abundantly clear.
It's really pretty awful how easily I can turn them off. It's pretty ridiculous.
I mean, you can turn off those feelings, but...
Do you hear that?
Yeah, sounds like a vacuum. Is it a vacuum?
It's not, actually. So, our room, you notice the window's open.
Oh,
it's winter, by the way.
Wind.
Yeah, so we just have it always, like, we kind of set up an equilibrium to where, like, wind just kind of comes through. And it's very nice, because it's, like, cool in here.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's a lot of times it's really hot. It's just, like, kind of cool in here, and there's just constant airflow. And it's really refreshing.
That's nice.
You know, there's not a lot that's more uncomfortable than waking up with, like, super dry mouth. You're just like,
yeah.
So, I just realized something. So, like, for the past, like, 3 weeks. Alright, so I wake up one day, and I have this sore on my throat. It sucks. Like, on the edge of my throat.
Okay.
And, like, I get them from time to time. I don't really know why. I'm really good about keeping my mouth clean. Like, the only thing wrong with my mouth, like, I've never had a cavity, and my teeth are pretty naturally straight.
Yeah.
The only thing that's wrong is, like, they're stained because I just drink a lot of tea.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that's why. But I mean, teeth are naturally more inclined to be, like, kind of yellowish anyway. They're not, like, whatever. The point being, I don't know really why I get these sores, but, like, sometimes I do. Maybe it's because I eat a lot of fruit. But, I had one on the right side of my throat, and it sucked because, like, every time you swallow something, it's just like scraping.
Oh
that.
man! Oh,
yeah. That's why I have this big ass cup right here. I've just filled it with water because it was like the only thing that didn't really hurt that much, and I felt like if I was not keeping like food on it or like drinking milk in that, like I was constantly washing it out, then it would help it go away faster. Days go by, it's feeling a little bit better, and then it doesn't feel better, and I look in the mirror again. There's a fucking another one on the other side of my throat. Oh, I was just like, really? Really now? Like, oh, it sucked. Like, I just powered through. Like, I'm used to them at this point, so, like, I could just kind of power through and just, like, eat stuff. But, like, usually it's, like, on one side, and I could just eat stuff on the other side of my mouth and go through with it. But this was, like, on both sides of my throat.
There are a few things that make me angrier than the times when it hurts to eat.
Yeah.
I hate that so much.
Because I love food.
Yeah.
Oh,
that sucks.
It definitely does suck. Oh. Especially for someone like me, like
who's already so skinny.
Well, I like food and like I have a good appetite, but my stomach size isn't that big. So I can't eat like a whole giant amount at one time.
But you get hungry.
So I end up
fast.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so I end up like grazing
way.
through the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like A, I just have a high metabolism, and B, like campus is pretty big. You know, my classes are on the other side of the campus, so I'm walking probably a few miles a day.
Yeah.
So I realized that like when I got up here, like I was eating more, and not so much because I was just bored and like I just eat because of stress or something. It was because like I was literally getting hungry more.
Yeah.
Because I assume I was just it was because I'm getting so much more exercise.
Mm-hmm.
This is people were like gaining weight all the time. And you get the freshman 15 and like not when you come to Kent. Your classes, you know where they are? On the other side of the fucking planet.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can't even take a bike there. I have a bike. I can't take my bike to my far classes because Kent is on a giant hill. So the entire way there is up a hill. And I can't do that. Because I'm not good at bike.
Well, at least you're in shape, though. I'd
Not
rather...
bike shape.
No, but I mean, at least you're not gaining the freshman 15.
Oh, definitely. No, like my weight for the longest time is always kind of fluctuated between 140 and 150.
Mine has been between like 135 and 140 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always just kind of in between that. Well, and you're a little bit shorter than me too, aren't you?
I don't think so. I think I'm actually taller than you.
How tall are you?
6'1".
Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah, and plus I think if we stood up, we'd see that. Even if I wasn't wearing shoes.
Yeah, let's stand up. Oh, ow. That's a...
James punched the ceiling.
Shut up! It was an illusion.
You're an illusion. You ruined my illusion last time.
Tricks are for whores. These are illusions. First development reference. Yeah. Someone will get it. Someone's driving a motorcycle. Dude, fucking Cat Halloween, dude.
Cat Halloween?
Kent Halloween.
Kent Halloween, okay.
People with motorcycles.
Oh,
just like
yeah,
they drove by and then waited until they were next to us on the sidewalk and like revved their engine
I hate it when
really
people do
loud.
that.
Like, what the hell are you doing?
We get it. You're on a motorcycle.
Yeah, it's great. Like,
you're powerful.
I've never known anyone to be like, dude, that guy revved his motorcycle at me. I'm so hot. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
Although Victoria, that same girl that like wrote the paper and was pissed because I got a better grade. She are you familiar with the trend of black smoke or whatever? I don't know what it's actually called, but people with these smokestacks on their trucks that like eat up fuel in such a way that it just will let out a plume of black smoke.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, and apparently it's supposed to be this super cool thing, and it's like this trend in the South now. And it's like terrible for the environment. Yeah, obviously. And Victoria, because I lived in the South, and so we would see some trucks sometimes with this like affixed to it, and every single time it was one with black smoke, she's like, "Oh my god, that's really hot." And I'm like, "How?
Temperature wise."
I mean, technically, probably.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Like, what are you gaining from that? If you are listening to this podcast and you have those smokestacks affixed to your truck or sedan or whatever, that'd be pretty funny actually. Tell me why.
You're smart guy.
Your smart car. You would have to like you put it in like an electric car and just like put a fog machine in it.
Yeah.
That would actually be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing like one of those little smart cars with like basically like a unicorn horn sticking out the top, but it's a smokestack, just one sticking out the roof?
Yeah.
That would make my day. But I think we've this is a pretty good. We've had a pretty good podcast so far.
Yep. And now that we're actually over an hour.
Yeah, we are over an hour. And sorry once again we've
forgot to do music.
Well, we didn't
forget.
We just discussed. Yeah. It was good. It was a good podcast. And well, I guess we'll see you. Well, we won't see you.
Yeah.
Because I always say that, and it's an audio podcast, as it always has been.
We'll never.
What if we started streaming?
What if? I don't know.
What if we were streaming, would you watch it or listen to it? Tell us in the comments. No one's going to tell us.
No one's going to tell us, but tell us anyway.
If you are listening to this podcast, write a comment. Any comment. Just tell me that you're there.
James needs you.
I need you.
Even though he says he doesn't have feelings, he has feelings. And he's like a teddy bear.
I have feelings for you.
For you, specifically, listener. Which is going to be weird when James goes back and reviews this. Like, I have feelings for you, listener. Wait, that's me.
Oh. It's like
butts.
It's like masturbating only with feelings instead of
penises. Yes.
Well, what an abstract thought to end on. This has been the Go Ham Hour. I'm James.
I'm, as always, still gonna be continuously yours truly, sincere, as ever, Sam. Still Sam. Plain old Sam. No strawberries or granola or toast or anything like that. I'm just classic Sam.